Hey, family. This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Hey, family. Hey, family. Hey, family. Hey, family. Hey, family. Baltimore. TikTok. Baltimore City. TikTok. Facebook. What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitter? Twitch? Y'all know I get them two mixed up, right? Even though, excuse me, family, excuse me. Even though they turned what Twitch is X now, I got to get used to saying X. I got to get used to saying it. Because I'm so used to saying Twitch for so many years, right? I am live streaming on Twitter. Which is Twitter, excuse me. Twitter is X. Twitter is X. I'm trying to be clear. Twitter is X. And I'm streaming to TikTok as well. Oh, God. TikTok is three of them. TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and two of my Facebook pages. I'm getting ready to embed my Instagram in, right? I'm thinking about ordering me another device because I'm trying to get it up on my platform right here. Matter of fact, I probably mess with it this evening to see can I start streaming my regular Instagram while I'm up here as well. That's another platform that I'm on a lot too. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. These are my live broadcast pages and two of my Facebook pages. Stephen Copeland, 909 at yahoo.com. And the other one is Stephen Copeland, 59. What's up, Candy? 59 at yahoo.com as well. But guess what? They Facebook pages. So I'm live streaming to them now. But look, hey, family. Family. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know who this bald head, snagger-tooth guy. Okay? This bald head, snagger-tooth guy. Man, I went for a walk around the track 5 times. I even jogged a little bit. Just a little teeny. I had the weights on my legs, right? My ankles. I'm looking at our young kids, man, and all that energy. I'm like, God. But I went around 5 times. And then I took a nice little walk back home. Grabbed me something to eat real quick. But now, I just want to share this with y'all. For a lot of y'all that don't know anything about me, you can Google me. You can even go to AI. It'll tell you basically everything I do. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. And I'm going to read it right here. And then I'm going to go in and start talking. This is just a brief introduction to let y'all know. I'm not joking about my talk show. Okay? And I know my talk show is seen around the world. I already know. It said Mr. Copeland Sr. is the host and creator of the Couch Talk Show, also referred to as the Couch Conversation Show, a program based in Baltimore, Maryland. The focus on community that focus, I'm sorry, family, that focus on, excuse me, community rebuilding, spiritual growth, and personal growth. My 12-step spiritual journey. My 12-step spiritual journey. My 12-step spiritual journey. I want to say that. I want you to say it to yourself. My 12-step spiritual journey. Right? The program and mission. My 12-step spiritual journey. Excuse me. This specific segment or series within his show chronicles Mr. Copeland's personal recovery process and spiritual growth, often described as powerful and stronger, right? The Couch Talk Show, a platform for keeping life real, where Mr. Copeland engages with family and friends and the Baltimore community to discuss life, faith, and social issues. So you all know, as a community activist, as a community outreach coordinator, as a human rights advocate, as a homeless advocate, these are the things that I do in Baltimore City with other organizations. I'm not doing this by myself. We can't do it. This individual right here can't do it. That's why I come on here Monday through Fridays around 6, so that I can encourage others, so we can all come together as one. That's what the whole point, that's what this is all about. So it talks about his platform, and it's talking about me, where Mr. Copeland engaged with family, friends, and the Baltimore community to discuss life, faith, and local issues. Community impact. Through his organization, Strengthen the Community, LLC, he works to rebuild Baltimore neighborhoods and supports the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope Foundation. I named my housing program after my sister, LaTanya D. Copeland, when she passed away some years ago, family. My sister was my best friend. And when she passed away, that tore me apart. But thank God, you know, he redeemed me. I'm going to just use that word right. Where I did continue back into doing what I had to do, because it shut me down for a moment. So I had to gain the strength and the courage to get back up and continue moving in my housing program with helping our homeless and less fortunate people. And you know what came to mind when I just said that? It wasn't about me. It wasn't about me. Yes, it was about me. But guess what? I realized I had other people's lives in my hand when my sister passed, and I couldn't stay down. So no matter what, family, we do have challenges in life and we do fall down. But the point is, we get back up. Please never forget that. We fall down, but we get up. And before I named my housing program the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope, I was calling myself the ambassador of housing. It's a temporary to permanent housing program where we get you prepared to get into a permanent place. So I work mainly with our homeless and less fortunate individuals, the ones that then fell on hard time. Some of them might have money to move in a place, but they just don't have that money to afford that $1,500 a month rent, stuff like that, right? So basically they get in the program, or let me throw this out there, I got to, because of their criminal background or their background check. It all depends. They can use that now. The landlord can use your background check to discriminate against you. So with my second chance housing program, the goal is talking with them not to get them to use those things that they can to prevent you from getting in a place or charging you double security. So that's one of the reasons why I prepare people so that once you graduate from the program, you will be able to discuss. I mean, you'll be able to. I'm sorry, y'all. Something just popped up and I was reading it. You'll be able to, at least, you'll have a better chance in getting you and your family a home, and not just a rental property. You can get into the home buyers program as well. We do have a lot of people around in Baltimore City who are creating low to moderate income housing. I'm one of them. Okay. So the thing is, right now, my main focus is helping the women and the children. But as we go, you can get into the apprenticeship program. If you want to work on your GED, your high school diploma, all of that, we provide all of this, the professional services, right? I deal with the ones that's licensed professionals to help y'all once you come into the housing program. So basically, this is what it's saying right here. Community impact through his organization, Strengthen the Community. He works to rebuild Baltimore neighborhoods and support the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope Foundation, which provides housing and services for homeless veterans, seniors, and families. Marlo Hargrove, right? We're back at 908. Marlo Hargrove is at 908. Now, I had a conversation with someone today that's part of what they're doing, and they're looking at, Marlo normally do men. Let me make that real clear. Marlo does men. But I told Marlo, I said, if you need my help, because that's my business partner, he just do men. But if you need my help, I'm here. And the reason why I shared that, because the space is big enough for us to do women and children as well, but it's only a temporary thing. It's not permanent. And it's independent living, so you gotta have funding. You gotta have funding, okay? We know you don't have a lot, but the point is, that's where we meet you at. We meet you at the level of where you at and help you build, okay? That's what the housing program is all about. So now, I'm just reading off what they got right here. If you Google me, if you go on AI and Google me, it's going to tell you about me. It's going to tell you about the housing program. For a lot of y'all to think I come on here as a joke, I'm not a joke when it comes to helping out people. Y'all can keep that bull crap over there. Okay? And that's not that I'm being smart. I'm just serious about, helping out people. So whatever I say out my mouth, family, don't take it personal. It's just, that's where I'm at. That's my heart. I need y'all. I need y'all mainly when it comes to helping our people. You know what I mean? But look, it say how to watch or connect. Live broadcast. The show typically airs Monday through Fridays. I mean, Monday through Wednesday. It's supposed to say Friday. But Monday through Friday, y'all know 5 days a week, from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now it's telling you that you can connect with me like on social media. It say the content is live streaming. Live streams are shared via Facebook. And I'm sorry for stuttering, family. It is shared via Facebook page and Instagram profile as well. Now, I'm on YouTube as well. I'm on YouTube streaming live right now. I am on Twitter streaming live right now. I am on Twitch streaming live right now. I am on TikTok, which y'all see me streaming live right now. And family, I only do this to encourage and motivate other people. That's why when I talk about my 12-step spiritual program, this is based around recovery. But before I came up here, I was thinking about this, family, and I'm gonna read the rest of this. But it was telling you how you can connect with me as well via Facebook, and then it said Instagram as well. You can check out the profile. You can check out my YouTube. If you go to my YouTube page, family, please subscribe, follow me, and share. Right? Because I'm just trying to get it out there. The talk show, the Teen Talk Show, Baltimore's Real Teen Talk Show. I got some amazing things coming up for y'all with the Teen Talk Show. And some amazing things coming up. The couch conversation, y'all know that's just real. It's just real. All right, and then it goes on to say, That was basically it right there. Say, are you looking for a specific episode or information to support his initiative in Baltimore City? So I'm reading this off to y'all family because, like I said, Monday through Friday, the Couch Talk Show, my 12-step spiritual program, really, with a spiritual journey, mission, and purpose, and helping others. Now, I'm going to share this too. I am a Christian. When I say I am a Christian, I'm only saying that I am a lover, a follower of Jesus Christ, not based around the religion. All right. Now, Bible is the basis, the format. Whatever religious material you read and you studying, that's just the basis. After I began to get into the Bible and everything, it switched and my journey became spiritual. So I was talking with somebody today, and they was talking about not using the word higher power or power greater than yourself. You shouldn't tell me that. Know why? Because I am a fisher of men. Everybody you cannot start with scripture with. Everybody don't believe in the Bible like that. Everybody don't believe, some people don't believe in God, or they mad with God because of certain things that happen in their lives. So it all depends on how you and I talk. Number one, if you believe there's a God out there, but you just don't serve him, then I have to talk to you in a different way. During this time, I'm either going to encourage you, motivate you, empower you. I'm proud of you. Stuff like that, you know, you strong. Because it's to build up your strength and your courage, to build on your self-esteem, mainly if your self-esteem is low. So when it comes to my job as a fisher of men, women, and children, I have to watch my approach. I can't come to everybody. Do you believe in Jesus Christ? Do you accept him as your Lord, your Savior? I used to do that early on in my walk. I'm not that religious. I'm not in that box like I used to be. And then I'm going to say this right now, whether you like it or not. Your religion teaches you this is the only way to get to God. Now, I'm going to say this. If you don't study Bible, and if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, I can only share how the Bible speaks to me. But that's not how God reaches all his people. You get me? God reaches his people in his own special way. See, I ain't in that box right there. I understand if you believe in Jesus Christ. And from reading the Bible, what the Bible tells me, in order to get to the Father, you have to go through the Son. But through other research, you already his creation. So don't you ever let nobody tell you you don't have a connection with God. Don't you ever. Just like me. Before he put my mother and my father together, he told me in Jeremiah, Steve Copeland, I knew you before the foundation of this world. I put everything in you, Mr. Copeland, that I called you to go back and do, and that's what I'm doing. And guess what? He done told y'all the same things, because you are his creation. Just like he created the animals, the trees, and all of that, we are his creation. We are his only creation, creatures, that has the right to choose between, that has that right to choose between living right or living wrong, because he still loves you. People will twist stuff. I try not to do that to people, because I look at my life. When I was out there in the streets, family, hustling, doing smugs for TikTok's sake, doing drugs, alcohol, family, Restream, Live, he still had my back. I was pew-pewed in the face for TikTok's sake. See this mark right here? I was in my face. I was 19 years old. I bragged about it. I said I caught the bullet with my teeth and spit it out. Thought that was some slick stuff to be saying. Look where it hit at. And then it did break my jaw. I was good. They had to wire my jaw back up. I just thought about that. That's over. That was like over 40 years ago. Y'all know I'm old. 40 years ago. He sold my I got stabbed right here. Pulled the knife out, jumped in my car, tried to run him over. I'm talking about my old life. And God still kept me. Don't y'all ever let these Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, so heavenly bound, no earthly good, don't understand how to talk and reach nobody, tell you no different. I'm telling you personally, at 64 years old, I was sharing with this lady today, right, that was dropping some food off to give back to the community. I was telling her, I was talking with her. As a lover of Christ, I'm talking about my personality, emulating Christ's humility. Read Philippians, 2nd chapter, verses 1 through 11. It talks about emulating Christ's humility. So I'm looking at the character of the person. I'm looking at the character of the human being. Now, I don't get caught up in no color, okay? That's y'all. I was gonna say, even though you know he was black, but I don't get caught up in that, right? Because when I look back at the time frame and all of that, right? Matter of fact, let me back it up. When I did my research about Adam, and the scientists, the theologists and theologians, and I'm trying to get them people names together. They believe that in Adam's gene was brown, black, and white in his genetics, right? And I remember my mother saying, we are people of color. We are people of color. I remember her saying that when I was growing up. We are people of color. We come in many colors. Then when I look at the point of the human race, then if you read back up in Genesis where it talks about creating Adam, he created Adam from the red clay. I was getting ready to say, but it was talking about the nutrition that was in that clay. The dirt. That's all I'm trying to say, family. So rather, in some eyesights, rather he was white, rather he was black, rather he was Korean, it doesn't matter. It's just what the purpose, what he stood for. Even with Adam, I got to go to Adam because that was considered as the first man God, and then Christ, right, is supposed to be the new man God. And the only reason why I'm saying that, family, because this is what I understand. But everybody might not see what I see, and that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you because I know God works with us. And God started showing me this a while back. That's why I had to get out of that religious box. The journey is spiritual, family. But now, if you are a scripture-oriented person, and that's where you at, and you're a Bible-believing person, and you quote it to fit conversations and everything, that's fine. That's just not what Steve Copeland is at. I go into scripture. I know the scriptures that you can use to punish people. And a lot of y'all know it too, because you're real good at condemning people but yourself. Just blew your mind, didn't it? You real good at condemning everybody else. Oh yeah, but I sin. I just don't. And I be tripping out. But you quick to point the fingers at somebody else when you know you over there falling short. I had to learn to stop doing that. I had to learn to stop doing that. Because the Bible is written for me. When I sit down and read and study the word of God, I'm by myself. So that's like God talking to me. So you mean to tell me a lot of y'all reading scripture and studying scripture, right? But you looking at everybody else is like, well, you need to apply this, you need to apply that, but except for yourself. Because that's what a lot of y'all do. I remember being there. Because sometimes we are afraid to look at self. And scripture that's God's way of talking to you, the individual. That's why when y'all hear Steve Copeland talk and y'all want to say, oh, his pride, his ego, yes. Yes. That's the courage and the confidence, the boldness of the Holy Spirit. If it looks ugly, I don't want it to look ugly now. I don't want it to be like, I want to be like him when I grow up. Now, I don't want you to know. No. Because I'm going to tell you, my kids, very, 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 very well-grown man of children. Adults now, and I'm sorry. Who you think they got it from? And my nieces and nephew that I raised, that's out there living their life. Who you think they got it from? I ain't got to say a word out my mouth. But the reason why, because I was called to go back out and encourage and motivate, empower his people in the communities. Mainly the ones that feel like they can't accomplish nothing in life. They never amount to anything in life. And a lot of y'all in your inside to make you feel special, you will degrade them. Yup, you ain't about nothing. You ain't gonna be little. When I say successful, I'm more like talking about mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Your self-esteem is not in the gutter. But you will see it in other people where they hold their head down. They're afraid to look you straight in your eyes. And for some reason, it'll make you feel like you're so superior, right? Which you're not. I'm telling y'all the work it took me to start holding my head up. And will look you straight in your eyes. I guarantee you'll turn your head first. I guarantee you, because you won't realize what I'm doing. I learned stuff like that. I learned when you shake a hand, you do like this. That stands for power. Watch most of your people with power. I can teach you something. Because I had to go in here. That's why I love talking about my 12-step spiritual program. Or my 12-step spiritual journey. Mission and purpose. My first sponsor told me, he said, Steve, you got to get to know who you are inside. Get to know you. It's something special about you. Get to know you. And I didn't realize learning to love and care for Steve Copeland. I ain't talking about nobody else yet. Because I was in the world, right? I was stuck. So I use outside sources to try to make me feel whole and complete. The food, the gambling, the lying, the sex, the cheating, to make me feel whole. You couldn't tell me I wasn't living life. Smoking at 11, the weed, the grass, for TikTok's sake. Drinking. And it wasn't no Diet Pepsi. It was Thunderbird. In a cup like this. I ain't got no problem in telling people where I came from. Because I want anybody, everybody, whoever stuck in the house that can't get out the house. And it's the only time you can listen to certain things, right? If you got a family member that's struggling, you can tell them watch the show. Stop being selfish and self-centered. And downing your family members because they caught up. I know you want the best for them. You can let them know Monday through Friday. It's a guy that comes on, talks about his recovery process. If they call me to come out and do a meeting, say, Steve, we need you to come out and do a 7-step. I'm going to share a little bit on my personal experience of what I used to do. Everybody didn't get high the way I did. They did it in a different way, but the pain. I wanted to say the plane. It took me back to the little midget. To the little guy. I'm sorry. I said, I'm talking about just the little guy from the plane. Yeah, I was flying too. Back in the day, I was flying. But look, I did not know you can get clean a day at a time and stay clean. I was not. What? I don't know. TikTok, stop. They just sent me a violation. What I tell y'all, TikTok, I be trying to watch certain words. Y'all know I'm talking about my 12-step spiritual program. I know, number one, y'all don't like certain words being said to assault certain people. But now, mind you, TikTok, I keep telling y'all I'm on TikTok and I'm on my Restream Live. So I have to watch certain words for TikTok. All right, I already know all that. I'm down with that. You got me? I appreciate it. Because guess what? The goal is not to offend anybody. Y'all already know that, TikTok. I am a recovering addict. My goal is helping people turn their lives around. Let's not do that. Because in my mind, I'm saying y'all must don't want nobody to share anything positive to help people turn their lives around. Come on. Y'all know I'm a human rights advocate now. And I do try to watch what I say. But when it comes to people's lives and helping people to move forward in their lives, helping them to understand that you can stop doing certain things that's habit forming and turning your life around. Please do not make me think y'all don't want no messages out like that. But as long as I'm over here bashing, hating men and hating women, it's all right. Because I see a lot of those platforms. Let me try to get back to where I was at. As an ordained deacon, look it up. What is the purpose of an ordained deacon? See, now you got me going here. What is the purpose of an ordained deacon? The primary purpose of an ordained deacon is to serve as a bridge between the church's spiritual leadership and the practical needs of the congregation and the community. Strengthen the community. TikTok. That's the name of my LLC. It say the word originated from the Greek word diagnos, meaning servant. Deacons are called to model servant leadership by handling logistical, administrative, and charitable tasks. Did I not say I'm a community activist as well? I'm a human rights advocate. I'm a homeless advocate. I'm a civil rights advocate. So why am I going to go around trying to hurt people when I know what I was called to do to help people? TikTok. And I know y'all see this. Core responsibilities. A deacon role is typically divided into 3 main areas of service. Ministry of charity. This is often considered the heart of the deaconate. Deaconate. It looked like the word like donate. Deaconate. Deaconate. Deacons identify and meet the needs of the poor, the marginalized, the sick, in prison. They may organize food distribution, visit the homebound, and manage benevolence funds. That's what I do as a businessman. I am a benevolent. I go back out into the communities. I get donations, TikTok. Food, clothes, furniture, all that, to give back to Baltimore City. Not just me. The other people that I deal with as well. But a lot don't get donations like I do to give back. Because I go to businesses and talk with the owners. TikTok. Ministry of the, liturgy? Liturgy. During worship services, deacon assists the primary clergy, priests, and pastors. I used to be we used to take the collections. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to. We was taking the offerings and stuff like that, right? That was part of our position as well. It say their duties often include proclaiming the gospel, leading prayers of the faithful, preparing the altar for communion, and dismissing the congregation. In many traditions, they are authorized to perform baptism, witness marriages, and preside over funerals. Yes. I used to drive the van. I was on the men's ministry because I was trying to find my place when I was into the church. TikTok. I was trying to find out because I knew God was calling me to the ministry. TikTok. So I was trying to find out where did he want me at in the ministry. You get me? So I realized when I was in the balcony one day, TikTok and Facebook family, the Holy Spirit hit me and said, I need you more out there than in here. Now, mind you, I'm already a sponsor. I'm already going to meetings. I'm already doing a lot of this. But he needed me more in the street part of it. That's what my 12-step spiritual program is about. See, once you learn about yourself, you just go back out and give it back. In order for me to keep everything that I've learned throughout the years, right, I got to give it back. That's why when y'all hear me talk, I'm known as the big mouth bald black dude, right? When y'all hear me talk, I'm only giving back what was freely given to me. See, a lot of y'all will say, oh, he talked too much. Oh, he this, oh, he that. Understand, I was taught. Then if you know I'm in the ministry, that's what we do. That's all we do. I'm just doing the work of the kingdom and helping the people. That's all. Then it say minister of the word. Remember when I said, even though I got ordained deacon, in my spirit, it's like my spirit tells me I'm a minister for Christ of the word, the creator. Deacons act as heralds, I gotta look that word up, of the gospel, sharing its message not just through preaching at services, but through teaching, mentoring in their daily lives. That's what I do. That's what I do. Whenever I come on, that's what I'm doing. And I'm only saying this, family, right? Because sometimes I say to myself, Steve, you talk too goddamn much. I do. But it's not me. I was blame it on him. He the one called me. It ain't me. I gotta pray, say, Lord, move me out the way. Speak through me. Look, I remember at one time, family, I wanted to reach the multitude. I ain't like, I wanted everybody to go, ooh, ah, wow. I wanted to sound good. I wanted to sound good. I tell y'all today, my actions speak louder than anything I can say out my mouth. Watch me. I didn't understand that. And when I said that, I'm looking at my children, right? Because I would tell them to do this and do that. So you know they see us, right? They hear what you're saying. They hear you. But they also watching you. So my actions, my words, and y'all know what I'm saying because sometimes I feel like I'm twisting it. My action had to actually match my words. Because a lot of people will tell their children or tell people to do this and do that and do that, and you're not living it yourself. But you're good at giving suggestions. You're good at giving orders. Now, mind y'all, I didn't understand this early on. You get me? I grew into a lot of this. That's why I share with y'all, right? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of the stuff I talk about, a lot of people don't like it because it's reality. And it helps you look at yourself. But a lot of people don't want to look at themselves. I already know that. I know people are afraid to look within themselves. That's why I talk about my 12-step spiritual journey. I share with y'all how it used to be, how I used to live. You could not tell me living a deceptive lifestyle I was wrong. or deceitful. You could not. And even once God delivered me from the smugs and the drugs and the alcohol and all that, I haven't picked that up in 33 years now. But I struggle with the other stuff. And little by little by little by little by little, I begin to let it go. So that's why when y'all hear me say certain things like this, I'm not a child. I'm a man. I'm not doing those boyish things because I'm a man now. Sometimes, look, I want to be irresponsible and unmanageable and all that good stuff, like some people, and all right with it, but it don't feel right. Now, I was sharing with Rita today, right? That dropped the food off. She does food pantry, right? I was sharing with her, you know, if I could count, that'd be fine. Like the stuff, be honest. When you look at your life and you know you just moving forward, right? And your goal is not to continue making those childish things. That's sinning against the body. That's all I'm saying. Watch how I do it. A lot of the stuff I used to do as a child, I don't do no more. Some things I could say I've been delivered from. Some things I could say I've been redeemed from. I'm just talking about for the day. That's all I had. March the 31st, Tuesday, 6:47. Talking about right now. That's why when I open up my mouth, I try to make stuff so plain and simple for people. We don't have to complicate people's lives with our knowledge of Bible and making people think that if you continue living a certain way of life, God don't love you. But then turn around and say, oh, that's right, Jesus gave his life. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Do you realize this is what we be doing to people sometimes? Except I try not to do it. Because I'm looking at my own life. So y'all be wanting people to think God is an Indian giver. He give life and then he take it away. What he do? But it tells you in the word. It's a time to be born. And it's a time when he's going to call you back home. And I have read that statement many times at funerals. Yes. My whole goal, I want people to just learn to love themselves. And I'm going to tell y'all, a lot of people will run because they are afraid to look at themselves. That's why when you hear me say I had to admit my powerlessness, once I was able to admit my powerlessness over the struggles that was going on in my life that took control of my life, I didn't realize I gained control by admitting that stuff had the best of me. Not now. So once I was able to admit my powerlessness, I gained power. In here. I had to start being honest with myself. That's a spiritual feel. Where in those areas that you feel like you want to lie, you don't have to lie now. Don't put yourself in situations where you have to lie. Be dishonest. That's a beautiful feeling. I gained faith within myself because I was learning to be honest. I learned to be honest with me. I develop an open mind now. I gained faith back in me. Wow. Start believing back in me. It wasn't as much about y'all no more. I'm believing in me. Developing an open mind. Learn to trust. I'm learning now to trust back in me. That's why when y'all hear me talk about honesty, faith, and trust, in NA, we call it the how of the program. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. When I started seeing it, I started looking at myself and I started being honest with myself. I started having faith. I'm like, what? It's something that covered me. I realized it was spiritual. Because I'm getting to know me. I'm not running from me no more. I'm not using certain things to sedate my feelings and emotions and all of that trauma. Then I was able to go on a deeper level. You know how we say we need to get to the root cause of what's going on in people's lives. So I was able to take a deeper look at Steve to find out why was I acting the way I was acting. That's all it was, in a destructive way. I had to go in. The jealousy, the insecurities, the distrust, the the molestation, stuff like that for TikTok's sake. We love TikTok. Go back inside dealing with that childhood trauma, challenges, drama. I was full of anger, full of resentment, full of fear, full of chaos and confusion. That's not how my life is today because of the work. I recognize the jealousy, the insecurities. I don't have to be jealous over nobody. Well, he got something better, blah, blah, blah. Or she got something better. Good for you. I don't have to be jealous. You put in the work, you got what you got. I put in the work, I'm going to get what I get. And I started saying stuff like that. I started saying nobody can stop me from growing in life but me. I can't blame the white man. I can't blame mama. I can't blame dad. I can't blame Uncle Tom. I can't blame Aunt Betty. Because whatever you want in life, you the one that has to put in the work to get it. That's why the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope, it's about helping you to regain a life worth living. But you got to put in the work to make the changes. For what it is, but it don't have to have power over my life today. It doesn't have to have that power over my life today. I don't have to go out there and rob and steal and take from our people to fatten up my pocket. That's not how I roll, okay? Let me make that clear, Be More City. That's not how Steve Copeland rolled. I love saying that. And y'all know, I done prayed to get better and not becoming so hard at our politicians and stuff like that like I used to. They got a job to do too, Baltimore City. Brandon Scott is doing the best he can, Baltimore City. Governor Westmore. our council members. They can't be everywhere at one time. I started seeing stuff like that. I started looking at how back in the days, my family and us was the one that was destroying the community, putting that stuff back out in the community. Even though we helped it with this and that, but still we would turn it apart. I didn't see it till I got clean. And it's a lot of people that's still caught up in that mindset just to put money in their pockets off the pain and the misery of your own people. I lived like that, Baltimore City. That's not how I choose to live today. That's not a real good feeling, Baltimore City. To be robbing and stealing and taking from our people. For me. I can't speak for nobody else. I have to speak for me. I feel like the Holy Spirit will tear me apart. I was sharing that with Ms. Reader today. I said, whatever people, I had to move away from a lot of people, or y'all moved away from me, which was good either way. But I still love y'all. Keep that in mind. I love y'all. I just don't care to do certain things that will get me behind bars. I ain't like it the 11 months I was over there. I like freedom. So anything you twist to make me out to be a criminal, you're lying to yourself. Those that got the power to play those games. But when I start to understand what goes around, come around. I got my moments. And I had to learn to forgive for what they did to me. And the main thing, a lot of y'all in Baltimore City was saying, oh, he gonna get himself in trouble for running off of his mouth. That's what community activists does. That's what human rights advocates does. Now I got a housing program. I called them to help me. Now I'm arguing with them. Y'all watching me because I live stream a lot of it. But rather than y'all looking at me not getting the necessary help that I needed for them clients, y'all look at, oh, he gonna get his health in trouble. Christopher Anderson told me that. Blew me away. And you running for the 7th district council seat. You gonna ask me to come and help y'all win on the Republican ticket. You know I got a big mouth. You know I do what I do. I don't mean no disrespect to nobody. I don't mean, look, you got people that's doing the right things in politics. Come on now. You got people in politics that really, really love you, Coy McCray. Love you, Sean Stanton, because I see what y'all doing back in the community with the people. These are some active brothers. Love you, Antonio Hayes. I don't see you out there as much. Brandon Scott, I know you go to events on you know your schedule. But Coy McCray and I forgot her name right now, but it's certain politicians, right, that they stand out a little bit. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna be honest. I know the politicians that really represent the people. I know the hell y'all go through. Look what happened to me. Look what happened with Mayor Pugh. Look what happened with Sheila Dixon. Look what happened with Merlin Mosby. Whenever you trying to do the right things for the people, you become a target. That's why a lot of y'all get scared and shut up. I almost curse. You hide. I didn't see it at first. I didn't see it. And I was sharing with a reader today, right? How God took me back to Genesis and brought me straight through Revelations. While I was in that prison during that time, I said, what God showed me, how organized religion, now I'm saying organized religion, I'm talking about a religion that wants to dictate and monitor the people's lives or try to control the people's lives. All religion is not like that. They teaching you to study that particular, religion and doctrine, stuff like that, right? But you got some that's dominating. Those the ones I'm talking about that wants to control your life and keep you enslaved and in prison. Him. And God started showing me that. He showed me. The same way he told Moses, go tell Pharaoh. I said, let my people go. He said, Steve, who you think you speaking to? You speaking to your religious organizations, well, your people of power, your lawmakers and all that too. Your kings, your queens, the people of power and authority to take advantage of the weaker. He started showing me that. And because of me opening up my mouth, I'm considered as a messenger just to throw the message to the people, but y'all pushing it back. You don't want it. Do y'all know the courage and the confidence it takes to do this? Not to try to impress the people, but to encourage, empower, and motivate the people, inspire the people. Jasmine Crockett just popped in my head because I listened to how a lot of people start downing her. Now, she got a degree in political science. So she's very much more educated in that area than me. But when I found out she was a civil rights advocate, I understood why she speaks the way she speaks. I'm sorry. She represents the people. Let's watch the people that represent the people. The reason why I'm saying that, because when you got politicians that really they serve in your best interest. Some of them want you to work for what the heck you want out of life and not for you to get handouts, which I started understanding that. They just want you to work for it just like they did. I got that. Some people need a helping hand. I got that. So you got those that make programs available for you, and you got those that want to get rid of programs and have you work even harder. But my thing is, when you start cutting back the funding for these programs, now, I don't know if you're making $60,000, $70,000 and more a year and you still need a state and government assistance, something ain't right with that. You living above your means. Because when I was making money like that, I had 401k, the retirement plan. I had life insurance for me, my family, medical coverage, 401k, all that. When I was making that money on up, 70, 60, 70, 80 up, even my stepkids was on my stuff. My family was well taken care of. Well, me and my wife was able to. So if you still need food stamps and Medicaid and you making 60, 70 something, then something ain't right with that picture. Something ain't right. Nice house, 2 cars and a truck. Something ain't right with that. Something ain't right. Kids in private school, something ain't right. Went to college, something ain't right. And you still need food stamps? So y'all are not the ones I'm talking to when I open up my mouth. I'm talking about the less fortunate ones. The marginalized people. The people in the community that Jesus Christ came, God came in the flesh, I'm sorry. and came into the city to the people that needed him the most. And it's not to say if you're a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, whatever, you don't need God. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the ones that feels like they don't have a life that's worth living. They can't accomplish nothing in life. They feel like it. We got too many programs out there. Then you got the big mouth, bald-head black dude like myself that will come on here, right? And that's me talking about me, TikTok, nobody else. That was the name I was giving TikTok because I talk too much. And see, I keep telling y'all, when I was with Communities United, I was not a paid organizer. When you get paid organizer, you get a script to read off, to say things to people the way they want you to say to them. That's why I always kept it real. I would always, when they ask me to talk, I can't follow this because I'm not going to remember all of this. Mainly when we're looking at a topic. If we're looking at a certain issue, like with the school system, when I spoke out on the school system, now you got the school superintendent that's not giving the teachers the proper curriculum to better educate our children. So at that time, mind y'all, I didn't understand a lot about the school to prison pipeline. I didn't understand that was something that was designed way, way back then. But it was dedicated to me. I thought it was more for the black young men. If you don't properly educate them right, they're going to end up doing criminal stuff to survive. I spoke out on that. Safety in the war zone. Harm reduction in the community of color. Y'all ain't know all the stuff I was doing, but if you're not involved in the community, you won't know. If you're not involved with politics, you won't know. Y'all just think I'm some dude in the background complaining. No. I'm in the background, I'm saying what's happening. We looking at the laws that they trying to get on the books or get out there that can either crucify the people or they can help you. But like I was telling Miss Rita today, right? I said, we are the ones. They are lawmakers. They are lawmakers. We are the ones with the solution. They don't create solutions. They create laws. And it's our goal to create programs to help the people live accordingly. Because like I told her, I don't want to see our people on that big old slave plantation, which is called the prison. Do y'all realize a lot of the prisoners work in a lot of these warehouses and plants and stuff like that and make little to nothing? But your business owners is making all this great money. And that's how the system was set up. They don't want people like me opening up my mouth. They don't want people like me with other organizations, right? And even your organizations, they got rules and regulations that they have to follow too. They have guidelines too. But when you take somebody like me, I don't follow their guidelines because I'm not a paid organizer. That's why when I come on the couch conversation, I got the freedom because this is my talk show. I'm only sharing my experience with y'all and the knowledge that I gained throughout this process. That's why if they need somebody to come somewhere and speak, the director will say, hey, Steve, we're going to such and such and such. You want to come and speak for us? Because they need a speaker. Or somebody will call. This one I was with, well, I'm still with, I haven't, well, I'm talking about Communities United. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I haven't been in their presence since I was arrested. But other than that, I still promote Communities United, right? Because their goal is fighting for the democracy of the Black people in Baltimore City. Okay, that's their goal, fighting for the democracy of the Black people in Baltimore City. I call them the baby branch of the NAACP. Then you got the ACLU. The ACLU, they fight for human rights, period. Doesn't, black, brown, whatever. Now, Communities United does the same things. Let me back that up a little bit, family. I'm sorry. Their headquarters is called the Center for Popular, what's up, Mike? The Center for Popular Democracy. If you look it up, the Center for Popular Democracy, they just don't fight for like the Black people's civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights. They fight for all cultures. The same with the ACLU. The ACLU came for us when we were trying to get the eye in the sky in Baltimore City. That's what caught my attention with the ACLU. I didn't know that the ACLU too is a union for the prisoners. And when they come and visit the prisoners to talk about little things that's going on, can't no correctional officers or nothing be there. Y'all see this look on my face? Y'all know I told them who I was, right? Not only that, American Disability Act in the prison. I was over at the hospital for my remaining time. They come and they talk to you to make sure you're being treated right. They would come straight to me every time they came. How you doing, Mr. Copeland? Blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I would tell them not today. See, my thing is, if you want to know something and you get the information, are you going to get it done as far as whatever issues they're dealing with? Y'all think I'm a joke. Baltimore City, y'all think I'm a joke. When I was over the prison, I even talked with the warden. Me and another guy went and talked to the warden about some issues that was going on in that dorm. And I introduced myself to her. Told her who I was. Told her who the warden before her, which was my sponsor. I watched him come through the process and became a warden over the prison. Now, I was even in there on the other side of, for something I didn't do. But I told them, I said, let me tell y'all this. Everybody in here is not here because they committed a crime. See, in their eyesight, because you're there, you must have committed a crime. I'm like, no. I said, look me up. That's all you got to do. Go look me up. You'll see who I am. And a lot of them did. And I threw names at them. Told them for 10 years, I used to come in and do the Y building. I would come in every Friday night at 7 o'clock, bringing in H&I meetings, NA meetings. And now, 2 officers come together and do some fake charges to get me off the street. And y'all talking about that's what he get for running off of his mouth. What I supposed to shut up? That's what he can't. He gonna get his head in trouble. I'm a community activist. I'm a human rights advocate. We fought to get the plane here to reduce the hey Steve. We fought to get the plane here to reduce the homicide rate in Baltimore City. Y'all came up against us with that. That was your sons and daughters out there. It was 343 back in 2017. 130 something 2025. I'm proud of them that they reduced it, but look how long it took. But they fought us. Your politicians spoke out on the $15 minimum wage. We got that bill passed. Spoke out on it twice here in Baltimore City and once in Annapolis, and we got the bill passed. Help Bill Henry and them. I'm talking about being with Communities United. A lot of y'all in Baltimore City did not know and did not realize why I was running off at my mouth. Because y'all wasn't involved. If y'all get involved into the community stuff to see what's going on, then you'll understand why he spoke out the way he did. We got the bill passed for some lords, for slum lords to become licensed landlords. Marlowe and them got a bill passed for felons to be able to vote now. Criminals can vote in Baltimore City. Oh, what'd you say, Mike? Mike said when he went down for firearm training down at the Inner Harbor, somebody wanted to get him a Mike. Is this the Mike that work with the youth? With the grass and stuff? Cutting grass? He said he was walking down in the harbor, right? Police wanted to give him a ticket. Wait a minute, for fire training. A cop wanted to give him a ticket for jaywalking. Mike, let me shut up because I was getting ready to say I would have told him give it here. Now I'm going right to your commissioner. A lot of them, that's all I do, Mike. Mike, is that you, bro? Oh, because you wasn't using. Hey, Mike, you know I haven't seen you in a while though, but I'm trying to look at your picture, right? But I always announce your program and the stuff that you do with the with the grass cutting and the training and stuff. Always talk about you. When I do my team talk, I talk about the things you do with the young kids and everything. Is that my boy Michael right there? Are you from Long Island? Okay. Because I'm looking at your picture. Yeah. Hey, Mike, I'm going to tell you this. One thing I learned about police is this police I called, right? Because of something that happened at the building. Thanks, bro. But look, when I asked this police officer, right, I said, do you know what thanks, Mike. It is. Now I'm gonna tell you this, Mike. Mike said Baltimore City is a beautiful place. It is, Mike. And what I've been doing, right, because I live over here near Morgan. So I've been going into the areas because this is Baltimore City. It's just not your inner. You get me? Your hood. But it's the city. And I want people to know that we have some beautiful places here. Housing and all of that. That's what I'm talking about. So everything is not ran down. And I'm going to say this, and it's nothing against you, Brandon Scott. But when I went to the budget meeting in 2023, his budget to as far as building back up in Baltimore City was $4.2 billion. I listened to Brandon Scott talk about everywhere that money was going except for the inner city. I was like, wow. And a lot of that money too goes into the counties because a lot of the politicians have some parts of the county areas as well. Now, only way I can share this with y'all, right? A lot of times being a community activist or organizer, we're behind the scenes. You get me? So we at meetings, we see certain things before, basically a lot of times before y'all get it. So we kind of familiar with what's going on. Yup. Yup, yup. They just slowed it down. Now, this what I've been to Mike said, it's a shame when there was a lot of violence and hate. Now mind y'all, that was one of the reasons back in 2017 I started a new Be More City, rebuilding back up the community, rebuilding back up our communities, right? It's a Facebook page for the 343 that year, 2017, unalived in Baltimore City by Pew Pew. I gotta say Pew Pew for TikTok's sake, family. But y'all know I'm talking about the gun, right? 343 for that year ended. Now that was just the Pew Pew, not mentioning whatever else. Because I found out their whole goal was to slow down the Pew Pew. But other people was being unalived in other ways. They don't report everything to y'all. But when y'all listen to this big mouth bald head black dude right here, I'm gonna share some stuff with y'all that they really don't want the public to know. That's why me and my director at Communities United used to stay into it. But see, I started realizing when certain organizations get paid for the work that they do, they have certain guidelines they got to follow. You say what I tell you to say. Little by little, I was beginning to understand that. So, okay. Now, mind y'all, I wouldn't have mind getting paid, but that meant to me, I had to sell y'all out. I refused to. I refused to. People talk about me horribly. That's why I tell people, if you want to know anything about me, just call me. Yep. Yep. Mike said when he was training down, he was down in the harbor. When he was training to fight with firearms, um, he said it was a lot. It was wait a minute, family. I'm sorry. He said when I was training down there, it was a shame of all the homeless, and that's where a lot of them are at. Cause City Hall is not that far, so a lot of them tends to sleep around City Hall, start encampments, and then they turn around and they get evicted. They get put out of one spot to go find something else. And then Mike, they passed this law. A lady sent it to me that I don't know how many cities that it's in, but I know DC, Baltimore, all that. That if a homeless person is out like that, again now, thanks, Mike. He said he went to a restaurant and gave him some food. Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Where was I at, Mike? I was walking. I'm trying to see, where was I walking at? And it was a homeless guy sleeping right on the ground in front of this restaurant. Once you on, once you off. Y'all hear them bikes out there. He must be going up Hiller Road. That's the open one. But yeah, family, that's all I do, y'all. Just try to spread some joy, helping people to understand no matter where you at in life. If you like down and out, you can. It's you that have to do the work to turn your life around. I often say this to help people understand you can be successful, right? Because I came out of school in the 10th grade. And Mike, because I came out of school in the 10th grade, right? They feel as though because a black man, child, is not very educated, they're going to do stuff criminally to go to the plant, to the plantation, prison. Come on, that's what it was designed for. That's why God took me back. When they locked me up, it was a reason. When God took me back to Moses, but it wasn't the point of Moses. He showed me to the work that I'm doing. But when Pharaoh gave the midwives the permission to take out all the firstborn males, the babies, look what's happening today. I did not see that at first. And he started guiding me. Thanks, hey Mike, thanks. You got me laughing, Mike. A lot of that too. A lot of that, Mike. That's why you got me laughing. He said that's wrong, right? Mike saying that's wrong. I'm talking about the road he got me on now, Mike. It said you're street smart, which is a good thing too. Mike, that's why I started laughing, Mike. It's a lot of that, Mike. It's Mike. It's, you know, the street smart. Mike, I'm gonna hurt you. That's what I use to help the business grow. You flip it. You flip it, Mike. I know you understand. You flip it. So a lot of the stuff I used to do illegally now is being done legally. Like Mike was saying, the street smarts. Just God flipped it around. Yep. Hey, Mike, look, stop. Because look, Mike said a lot of people today are smart, but not street smart. He ain't lying. You ain't lying, Mike. Because I'm a Mike. Because of my 33 years, right? Now, I'm considered as a life coach, Mike. Basically what I do. I'm considered as a life coach. But now, the only reason why I didn't become a licensed life coach, because I can step across lines that HIPAA cannot touch, because I'm not certified through HIPAA, them laws. So I'm only helping people back from a level, like Mike said, of personal street experiences from what I lived, what I went through, all of that, and made it out of it. And that's how God used me, like Mike saying. But Mike, that's what he was showing me. I didn't realize it, Mike, once I got clean now, that this what he's doing, Mike. It's the streets. And that's why a lot of and I'm going to say it, whether y'all like it or not, a lot of our rappers, a lot of our actors, I'm going to say professionals that lived the corrupt lifestyle and turned it around into business, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And those are the ones, Mike, I've been trying to reach out to. right? I've been trying to reach out to people who lived a certain way and now building back up in the poor communities. And pray. I know, and I'm not saying it's not happening. Please don't get it wrong. But for what I'm doing with the housing portion, I need people with money so that we can start rehabbing and revitalizing houses for our low to moderate income people. I know people doing it already, but I need it for my program now. Okay? I need it for my program, and I know God is going to let it happen. So the same way we got people out there that's rehabbing houses in Baltimore City and making them affordable for low to moderate income people is where God got me at. So the goal is for us. And I got people right there. It's just, I see it coming. I see God putting it together. But now it's for me to prepare. The goal is to prepare the people to be able to function a lot more healthier. So if you caught up in that slave man mentality, we got to break it. We got to break it. This is one way God had me doing what I do, family. This is ministry for me. I might not be up on the pulpit, right? But this is the pulpit for me, for him. I know, or I believe deep in my heart. I don't know who it may be. I don't know who. Okay? But I know whenever I open up my mouth, somebody somewhere need to hear what I say. You ain't got to listen to the whole video or watch the whole video, because I know I'll stroll down stuff and I'll hear something that'll catch my attention. And I might not never know who it is. I get people that send me messages and say, well, I'm in West Virginia, or I'm up in Virginia further out, do you do stuff up in this way, blah, 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 stuff like that. I am going to get better with writing numbers down with people that's in other cities. I am. Thanks, Mike. I am going to get better because I do get phone calls from certain organizations that in Virginia, stuff like that. But see, I don't get too many people that might be that far out that will reach out and ask for help. Can you help me up here? But I'm going to get better at making sure I keep a list of numbers like that. Not just like Virginia, but Delaware, DC itself. Because I had people in DC that will call me, ask me, can I house people for them? That's no problem. See, they just write to me across the street. It's just the point of getting them here. So that's not a problem, fam. And for myself, to be honest with y'all, I do want to be, I'm about keeping it real, family. I'm about keeping it real. I'm not trying to get up here and act like I'm all educated and wise and all that. Come on. I just said I'm going to keep it real. One thing I realized, like I said, in this process, right? A lot of people are afraid to stand up and fight for what they want out of life. But we real quick to point fingers at the white man. And I'm not saying that it's not a system out there that's put together to keep us down. I'm not saying it's not. But they're not all white. I can only tell y'all from being a community activist. I can only tell y'all this from being a human rights advocate. They're not all white. You can keep howling all you want. The white man this and the white man that, they're not all white. That don't want to see, it's the ones, it's your workers, right? The ones that have to keep them in business. They need workers. They don't want you to try to be successful, so they got to keep you down because you keep making them their money. And they're not all white. If some of y'all come and get involved in your community, neighborhood associations and stuff like that, you'll understand everything I'm saying. You'll be like, oh, he ain't lying. Some of them. And it goes back to the haves and the have-nots. That's real. So when you get in the arena where I'm at, and people like myself, and you actually see it with your own two eyes, you like, all right, I got it. So what you learn to do, family, rather than complaining, moaning, bitching, yeah, I'm gonna say it. You gotta fight for what you want. I'm 64 years old. I do not have to go out there and like start a life. I done basically lived it. This retirement time. Put a suit and a tie on and I can go over here, I can go over there. If I don't feel like going, I ain't gotta go. If I tell you I'm gonna come and I decide not to go, I can do that too. But when it comes to business, come on. It's a lot of people in Baltimore City, business owners and all that. Know where my heart is at when it comes to Baltimore City. They know where I'm at. A lot of my church members. A lot of NA friends. They know that I'm not for a lot of the dances and clubbing like I see a lot of my NA friends doing. That's not where I'm at. But when I see them, I'll be like, look at man, I'm like, I've been knowing this one for 20 years, 25. They got about 40 years. I just look at the fellowship and the love. I'm like, look at them. And some of them, I remember when we was all young when we came around, right? Now we old and grandparents. I'm like, look at her. But God kicked me in the streets. And that's where a lot of us supposed to be at. But guess what? They doing what they do. And it's a lot of us that's over on this end that's taking the word to the street. This is my way. I didn't realize it, but this is the way God got me ministering. On the Couch Talk Show. Be More's Real Teen Talk Show. And parents, even though I put up there giving our youth a voice, yes, we going to fix it with our youth. But now, all depends on the age. We are going to need the permission of the parents. But if you have a child, and I'm going to say this, if you know somebody's violating that child, get done what needs to be done. Because number one, I am going to have professionals there to make sure they get the proper help they need. Okay? That's part of the multi-purpose center, Stephen Copeland Jr., Sports and Talents. With the B Moore's Real Teen Talk Show. Because I want to embrace their art, music, theater, dancing. If we got to get people from Morgan, Coppin, it's another college not too far, to come out and volunteer their services. People like Uncle T and all of them that's already working with the youth. Some of them working with them, they teaching them different things, right? Some of the young men getting into apprenticeship programs and stuff. And the little queens too. So I'm getting ready to end this. I'm starting to wind down. I feel like it's time for me to get ready to shut it down. But now the biblical foundation and purpose, and I'm talking about as a deacon family. The office was established in the New Testament, Acts 6, chapter 6, verse 1 through 6, to allow spiritual leaders, apostles, elders to focus on prayer and preaching, while deacons handle practical disputes and resource distribution. This division of the labor ensures. Now, one thing in this process of being an ordained deacon family, number one, I represent Jesus Christ. I represent the Creator. That's number one. I'm under my pastor. My pastor is the bishop. The elders, the apostles. The goal of the deacons is to do the street stuff so they can continue carrying on the ministry. You know, the preaching and the teaching. So it's for us, and we can do certain things too, right? We're ordained to do it, but we are taking the weight off of them. So, one, Bishop Jerome Stokes is my pastor over at the Church of the Redeemed. So when I'm out in the community, I represent the church, but I had to make sure I make it clear, Christ first, then my pastor or my bishop. See, I know my position. I know what I'm supposed to do, because before I became a deacon, they taught us everything we're supposed to do as a deacon. Everything. So I'm feeding y'all back what was taught. See? So that way, if you want to know the position of the deacons and understand why they called the seven together. Now I'm getting ready to get egotistic. They called me first because I'm Stephen. They called Stephen first. Let me stop. I had to do that. Y'all don't know how privileged I be feeling sometimes because of where I came from. I'm like, and you choose me to go? What? But look, I'm telling y'all, y'all don't look. When you got that relationship with the Holy Spirit or the Creator like that, you trust me like that? I had to start believing in me. He believed in me. He created me. So look, it tells you what the position is, right? I'm telling y'all, sometimes I'm just blown away. I'm blown. Because I don't have to do it. I could say, nope, I ain't gonna. It's just being obedient to the word, to the Creator. So when y'all hear me talk about the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, I'm only talking about one God. But I'm looking at the three, and I say divisions or the word, how the spoken word became the written word. And then in the New Testament, he became flesh, the spoken word. which became the written word, had become the living, breathing word. I'm like, oh my God. Now, everybody don't see that, and it's okay. It's okay. Because I felt like when the word introduced me to who he became in the flesh, that became personal. That relationship, that connection. It's like I want to be like him when I grow up. I want to be like Christ. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I want to be like Christ. I ain't talking about being perfect. Being this loving, caring, kind, considerate man. Then when he flipped that table over, I was like, oh my God, he was human, because he got angry. So I'm talking about the character. I'm talking about the personality of the person, not the religion. That's your problem, because you stuck on a religion. I'm talking about the human being. I'm talking about that loving, caring, kind, considerate gentleman. Wait a minute. Who can also be a rotten, no good. No, you don't. No, you don't. See, that's when you know your flesh, right? And your spirit, right? That's how I do it. I was telling Rita today. I said, it's like I had to tell my flesh, no. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. Blah, 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 blah. As far as being disobedient towards the truth. You know certain things you can't do, you can't do. When you know the truth. I'm trying to keep it simple, simple, simple for you. Simple. I don't want to make it complicated. Okay. And then look. Okay, church unity. Did I read that one? Deacons act as shock absorbers, resolving practical conflicts before they fracture the congregation. I'm not gonna touch that, because I went into my security mode reading that, right? Because we was taught all about, protecting the pastor, congregation, and all that too. Operational support. They manage facilities, finances, and volunteers coordination, ensuring the church function effectively as a unified body. That's true. Because we are. Now, the church, y'all know, is just a building, right? That we go, we fellowship, and stuff like that. We go to fellowship and to worship God. It's a family thing. So the operational support. Transitional versus permanent deacons. In certain traditions like the Catholic or the to ordination. Yeah, because from what I understand, me being an ordained deacon, I'm like under the pastor, the preacher, the priest. So to go to that next level as an ordained deacon, I will become a priest in that sense. You know, the transition. Permanent deacons, men and sometimes women, depend on the denomination, which are ordained to serve in this role for life. They often maintain secular jobs and, unlike priests, are frequently allowed to be married. So what you trying to say? I ain't supposed to. I was married deacon. Wait a minute, which one of them does that? Like most of your Catholic churches, I think where their priests or deacon don't get married. You live a celibate life. A celibate. Okay. That look, I just wanted to read that, right? Because at my church, we had to take classes to be ordained deacon. And that's why when y'all hear me say the church ordained me deacon, but in my spirit, it's like the Holy Spirit says I'm a minister for Christ. And understanding what a deacon position is, it makes to me, and I believe other deacons, people that's in the ministry period, okay, understand what your purpose is. So when I look at Christ, and y'all hear me say it a lot, when I'm back into the community, communicating and dealing with the people, and helping to resolve whatever issues. Now, mind y'all, I am not, y'all hear me talking, but I am not by myself. That's why y'all hear me from time to time. I will mention the names of other organizations in Baltimore City that's doing great work with our youth, with our adults, with our substance abuse users. Y'all will hear me say that and mention certain programs that's in the city. These are people that I've met throughout the years with businesses, and you know, they in the church and all that. Okay. So I'm not just one of those that try to sound good. I actually share the things that's taking place, and I can only speak for Baltimore City. Y'all know I got times where I come on here, I'll talk about the business. I'll talk about the nonprofit. And I don't know, money. I was kind of looking at this money. What's up, Trey? I might not talk about business stuff on here as much as I used to. And my whole goal with sharing about business, family, mainly when it comes to dealing with our homeless and less fortunate population, and people that wants to start programs or have programs in y'all city that people need to know about. I want you to come up here. I want you to come up and say, I'm from Detroit, and this is the name of my program in Detroit. And I guarantee you any amount of money, somebody going to hear it and give you a call for help because they didn't know. Somebody in Delaware, somebody in New York, somebody in Alabama, wherever you at, and you want to do community work, you got to make sure everything is in place first. Basically, if you already doing your LLC or nonprofit. But if you want to find a way to like start your business, come up here too, because I will ask other people to come up to share with you. See, I can only share my experience with you, how I started my LLC. I didn't realize, family, that I was doing the work of a nonprofit because I get donations. That's not a problem. I told you, I get all sorts of donations. And I was giving them back to the community. Things on hold in that sense right now. But I was giving it back. When I say giving it back to the community, I was giving it back to nonprofits too that wasn't getting government funding. So I did not realize that I was already doing the 501c3 work, right? Without actually being a 501c3. I read that up. I read it up. Now, because I'm an LLC, you a nonprofit, me and you team together, I can use your EIN number. Basically, the donations that I get, if they want a receipt, then I can use your EIN number because we together. That's a write-off for you. Well, for them and you. But guess what? I'm right there. And it doesn't matter because I want to see you get whatever you need for your 501c3. But now guess what I'm getting ready to do? Put my own 501c3 under my LLC, or just separate them, but they were still the LLC 501c3. The LLC, the 501c3. For profit, non-profit. I had to kind of keep it separated. That's what I'm doing anyway. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I am going to get ready to end this. Baltimore City, I was asked to run for council seat. We're gonna see what happened with that. And I'm sharing this with y'all, Baltimore City. Everything I open up my mouth about. If I tell y'all we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, I'm only telling y'all what we're doing. That's the difference between your actual politician and somebody that's working with the solutions. They don't come with solutions. They create laws. It's people like myself that's on the grassroots ground level where we come up with ways and means to help support whatever law they pass. If they create a law that will crucify you, that will get you in trouble, that's all I'm saying, behind the bars, we're going to create stuff for you to be able to live righteous towards that law, so we won't see you go behind the bars. But it's up to you. There's too many programs in Baltimore City, too many businesses in Baltimore City, Detroit, anyway. If you in a city, big city, y'all know y'all have poor communities or impoverished people. There are a lot of events. There are a lot of businesses out there in your community. You just have to get involved. Get to know who your delegates is, your council members, definitely your mayor, your senator, your senators, your congressman in your district. But you got to get involved. Keith and a couple more, there's a lot of them, working on reparation. They asked me to be a part of it. I said, no problem. It's because y'all know my mouth. I said, the thing is, teach me everything y'all need me to know. But I'm doing some studying on my own. So I might speak on that a little bit tomorrow. If it don't slip my mind, I might write it down. Well, I'm gonna read up on it tonight, but I'll talk about some of it tomorrow. And if I can invite you over, Keith, you can come up. I know if you on TikTok, it's easier for you to come up on TikTok, Keith, and a lot of y'all in Baltimore City until I get this set up right. But look, family, I'm gonna get ready to end this. I love y'all, Baltimore City. And it's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I can't put out yet that we're doing. It's just getting it done. And as we settle, I'll share more. If I feel as though we need us to come together more, please come together. Y'all know I'm gonna pluck your goddamn nerves. And I ain't trying to be all eloquent and professional. Y'all know. Look at the head. Y'all know Baltimore City. Don't let me see you and say, remember me? Yeah, I know you. I know y'all do. and y'all know where my heart is at. I love y'all, Be More City. Be safe, family. I love y'all, and I'm gonna end this one right here.